All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers, and I cannot lie, FFIE caught my attention this morning. I saw that run push well over 100%, all right? So, yeah, I cannot pretend I did not see it, even though I was so focused on sound and NNOX, all right? But a couple things I always say, okay? First and foremost, what matters most is where it closes, not some movement intraday. All right. Now, if you're a day trader, if you flip it intraday, I don't know what the other word is I'm looking for, right? But scalping, that's the word I was looking for. But unless you're moving it minute by minute with your finger on the trigger, right? To me, you need to wait for the day to close so that you can establish what to think about for tomorrow. All right. And as good as today was, listen, I am still very skeptical, about this stock. All right. I have a high criteria. My money doesn't come to me for free. All right. I work for my money, and I'm going to make a stock work for my money as well. Right. So you set a high criteria, and hopefully you're rewarded with that. Right. So I still need a little bit more from here. SOFI's been interesting. All right. And SOFI came off of what was really good earnings. I then went back to show some comments from the Discord group that kind of maybe said, hey, it wasn't super fantastic earnings, right? But nonetheless, it's been battling with the moving averages, and it's actually sitting over the cluster as we speak right now. But I need confirmation, right? So excited to talk about these both. I have a 2 o'clock call, so I'm going to try to squeeze this in quickly. But before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad. Look, anything you can do helps with these algorithms so much, especially if you can click that share button. It does wonders, all right? So let's get into it. And listen, I am not here to ever wish bad things on a stock, all right? I don't do options. I don't short on anything, all right? But when a stock is under the 8 and the 20, really bad things will happen, all right? And it's always magnified if you're actually under all 5 moving averages and you're coming off of a reverse split, all right? Now, granted, this 1 for 80 reverse split was August of last year, right? So I'm not going to call that soon. I think the fact that we're nearly 2 quarters away from that is actually a relatively decent thing, all right? But lose all 5 and die is a common thing I say. You can see we've lost them all, and all this stock knows how to do is stay under the 8 and the 20. All right, we have only had 2 good closes over the 20 moving average since roughly that August of last year we were just talking about, right? So that orange line is no joke, all right? That said, hey, my other favorite thing to say on these videos is red can turn into green. And I mean, that's exactly what it did, right? My lines aren't here for perfect, but yeah, this thing try to hit resistance, definitely couldn't do it, couldn't close over the 20. We finished right here, right? So a great day. Listen, I hope you made some great money, right? I really do. That said, I'm here for sustainable uptrends. I'm here for more than just a single good day, right? And as I'm looking at the history of the stock, what it tends to do is pump and dump. It pumps and dumps. It pumps and dumps, right? Like, this is a big pump. I'm not going to lie. As I just zoom out and zoom out and zoom out, this is the biggest day of volume. When we go into the weekly, this is the biggest weekly candle. And I mean, we're not even done with the week yet, right? So the level of volume today was pretty unreal. Granted, we did have a 1 for 80 reverse split, so I'm not sure if that messes with the volume too. Again, I'm not here pretending to be like a math master or any silliness like that, right? But today was a big day. Today was for sure a big day. That said, to me, what matters more is tomorrow, all right? So the first question in my head is, are we going to do what we did here? Look, yesterday's volume, it was a big number. Don't get me wrong, 29 million, 29.5 million. That's not a small number, right? that's significantly less than today, right? We make these big moves and then the next day, I mean, pretty much give up what, 60% of it easy, right? Like, are we going to be able to hold roughly 90 million tomorrow? And look, that's about half, right? I would want this thing to be at least around 130, right? So if I want 130 million shares in about 7 hours of trading, we better be near 18, 19, 20 million around that first hour, 40 million that second hour, right? Otherwise, volume, if volume drops too much, the best you can kind of hope for is horizontal. I generally assume down, all right? But volume's going to be real big tomorrow. Yeah, I definitely know that the RSI was super low at like an 11. We then come back up to some 30, 40 number just to go back down. And you can see that that's what this thing does. It gets a super low number, goes up a little bit, comes back down, goes up a little bit, comes back down, goes up a little bit, comes back down, comes up a little bit. I'm expecting it to come back down. Listen, I would not touch this stock until it closes over 12 cents. It needs to close over 12 cents, all right? Realistically, I think the best place to enter this thing would actually be 20 cents. I realize it seems silly to say just ignore it all, but I would much rather ride this from 20 pretty much up to 50 because again, red, right? I mean, if we can get over the 50 moving average, I would love that. You could make a good move between what, 13 cents all the way up to that 19 I was just talking about. That's actually a pretty good move right there. I'll be honest, I think I'm going to set an alert for 13 cents. I wouldn't mind knowing 13 cents. FFIE though, to me, I am seeing a stock that does not know how to get over the 8 and the 20, and until it proves to me that it can, I got to sit here and think no. All right. Again, what is common is you fall away from the 8, you come to the 8. You fall away from the 8, you come to the 8. You fall away from the 8, you come to and get a little bit past. Hey, that's good, right? But again, these are just common technical, you can see it all over the place here. Common technical rebounds that do nothing more than lose again after. Because don't forget where this stock is, all right? We are in all-time lows. We are dropping down and down and down. These moving averages don't seem like they're ready to curve back up just yet. You know what I mean? So I'm glad for today. I need more. If, like I said, we can close at 12, I'd like to know. All right. If we hit 13, I might start thinking, hey, maybe we're going to want to go to like 17, if not maybe this 15, 16 line, right? But yeah, otherwise, I would not be surprised if we come back down to 9, if not lower. All right. I would be very scared if this falls into the 8-cent range. 8 cents is probably the bounce or die point. All right. So, let me know if there was news. I don't think I saw very big news that justified this. I might be wrong, though. Like I said, I had eyes elsewhere. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. I don't think we need to look at the weekly much more, so I think this was good. Let me know if you disagree. You know I'm not here pretending to know it all right? SOFI. All right. This has been an interesting chart here to say the least. All right. Very quickly, if you can please subscribe, please share the video. It goes such a long way, and I appreciate it. All right. But look at this thing, all right? So we got to start talking about it right here. So SOFI had what seemed like beautiful monster earnings. It gaps up over all 5 of the lines, all right? I go back to this comment because I thought it was a nope, 50M. Boom. Okay, so a lot of the focus was on SOFI's first net positive income, but the free cash flow and operating costs were still 250 million. All right, they were definitely net income positive of 50, but if you're spending 250 to make 50, that's just that's no bueno, right? So, you know, I could see that being a justification for SOFI. All right, what's now happening? Look, I'm not okay. Let me a couple things are running in my head. Sorry. So when all 5 lines are this tight, I call that a cluster, all right? It's a horizontal cluster of moving averages. And what tends to happen is you'll go up and down, up and down, up and down, all right? I'm liking the 8 and the 20s curve up here. I am, all right? But that said, there's always a part of me that just, I'm going to go to Palantir real quick, and not when we're up here in the 25s, but back in the days in the 9s, all right? In the 7s and the 9s and the 7s and the 9s and the 7s and the 9s and the 7s and the 9s, we were just bouncing up and down in that cluster, that horizontal cluster of 5 lines that lasted from February till May. I know this one looks beautiful and it goes up. There are other ones that last a long time. No, that's too far. Yeah, this is the view I always do. This one was a tight, and then obviously it went down, right? Again, you can see this one was also tight, and went on up. Like, these are extreme moves when the lines are that tight. I do believe that, all right? And right now, things are real tight, okay? What I like is that... SPX is that the S&P 500 is still holding the moving averages. What was a little bit of a scare is the beautiful use of the 8 and the 20, just like any other stock, bouncing on up and back up, right? When I look at NASDAQ, I'm seeing the same thing. CompQ, NASDAQ Composite, using the 20 to bounce back over and back above the 8, right? So I'm seeing a recovery in the indices. I'm seeing that lead to this. We saw that same gap down and recovery. To me, it needs to escape these lines significantly. I don't think I'm going to trust SOFI until the 880s. And I believe that was something I said on the last video. I don't exactly remember where it was. Yeah, this is kind of saying 895. I think 885 is a decent number. 886. I think that's a decent number, actually. I think that'll get me high enough to start to believe. Really, if you want to play it even safer, just wait for 913. I think if you wait for this 913, this is a beautiful green, red, nothing else. That should be a real fast channel, and that's basically a nice little 10%, let alone what's above 10 from there, right? So I do believe the safest thing to do is wait for the 915 range. I think it's very arguable to say 880 range. I'm still worried. I am still worried that we might get sucked back into the moving averages. All right. I can easily see this coming back down to 820. I can easily see it come down to 830. I need a good confirmation and a good escape. This is just a doji too. This is not a big make me believe candle overall 5. Again, I like the golden crosses that I'm seeing, but look, we had them here only to death cross right back under, right? Like, that's part of the horizontal movement. So SOFI, I need a little bit more to believe. I'm liking the setup, don't get me wrong. I know there's a baby uptrend. I know people are going to get excited about that. Nothing matters till the 50 average breaks. Nothing does, all right? Looking on the weekly, it's kind of the same story. We're at least sitting on the top of it, but there's 4 moving averages pretty tight right here. So we need to escape relatively quickly. Where's your middle line? 8. I'm still good with my 880 number. That was saying 875 where I clicked right there. Let's just be a little conservative here and call it 820. Listen, I was very honest about the fact that I lost some good money on that gap down. I could have stayed in, and it looks like I probably would have at least made more, because I think I sold somewhere around these two. I'm not sure. I don't remember if I sold here or here. Nonetheless, all right, we need to get over the earnings candle before we can believe we're going to go. For me, at least getting into it where that 880 number was coming from seems logical, but yeah, 915, there's a reason to be patient sometimes, all right? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Volume's looking all right. That's why I didn't talk about it too much. Let me just at least say something right there. As I zoom in, as I get away from that pop-up right there, you can see it. Volume's not breaking the 50-day average, all right? Yeah, I see a MACD that's in the positive. Yeah, I do see the divergence, but too many moving averages to give any of these any credit, especially when the volume looks like that, all right? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Even if you disagree, oh man, I appreciate you all so much.